Steve Blank, The 4 Steps to the Epiphany, Successful Strategies for Products That Win. Embark on an enlightening journey with Steve Blank's book summary, The 4 Steps to the Epiphany, Successful Strategies for Products That Win. Realize how startups differ from established companies and the steps necessary to transform a startup vision into a victorious reality. This summary sheds light on the customer development process, the importance of core values and mission statements, critical market types, learning from mistakes, and effective strategies for attracting and retaining customers. Explore these vital aspects in a concise and engaging format, perfect for those seeking wisdom within the startup world.
Customer development versus product development. Startups cannot use the same methods as large companies, and they need to focus on customer development before product development. Many business people assume that startups are like small versions of large companies and can use the same methods to succeed. However, startups face certain challenges that larger businesses don't have. One major problem is that startups normally cannot introduce new products to the mainstream market. Unlike established companies, startups don't understand their market environment. Thus, entrepreneurs need to know their potential customers before developing a new product. In contrast, established companies use a product development process where they design a product and then look for customers. Webvan is an example of a startup that failed miserably because it focused on its product development process. The company didn't research its customers' needs, so it didn't build a solid customer base before creating its product. Another major difference between startups and larger businesses is that an entrepreneur's business idea may or may not work. Thus, entrepreneurs face an uncertain path, much like classical heroes on a quest. They need to find a path to making their vision a reality, discovering who their best potential customers are, and how to conduct their business. Startups must focus on customer development instead of product development to succeed. Key elements to stay on the path of success. Defining fundamental core values and creating a mission statement are vital for any startup to succeed in its journey. The core values need to be authentic and long-lasting to guide the company whenever it needs to decide about profits versus helping people. A written mission statement is essential to achieving the company's aims and objectives, especially during its early stages when it goes through a period of turmoil. The mission statement should answer questions related to the company's growth, profit, and good work. A startup with these key elements has a better chance of staying on the path of success. Developing the right strategy for a startup. Every startup has a unique strategy that determines its success, and it depends on the type of market it faces. There are existing markets with established competitors where outperforming them is necessary to enter the market. For instance, Transmeta's failure to outperform Intel's energy-efficient chips led to its downfall. New markets are without competitors, and the startup creates by identifying its potential customers. Photos to use branding approach without researching for its prospective customers hindered its success. Finally, startups can resegment an existing market with cheaper products or niche offerings. In-N-Out Burger's success is attributed to its ability to offer higher quality hamburgers for the same price, capturing the fast food market. Understanding the market environment and aligning startup strategies with it is essential in achieving entrepreneurial success. Catch mistakes early. Startups can avoid costly errors by gathering feedback from potential customers, even before launching a product. The goal is to assess market interest and adjust the product to meet customers' needs. To stay responsive amidst an ever-changing business landscape, startups should avoid rigid organizational structures and establishments that hinder decision-making processes. Every team member should have the authority to make urgent decisions without seeking approval from superiors. While following these tips can significantly boost a startup's chances of success, a successful outcome is not guaranteed. The importance of customer development for startups. Startups should avoid following the product development process used by big companies and instead focus on the customer development process. Building and launching a great product before understanding the market demand and customer needs can lead to a disaster, as customers might not be ready for it. Product development needs to be synchronized with findings from the customer development process, which focuses on external influences for the product's success, customers. The customer development process involves building a customer base and ensuring that products suit their needs. The process will depend on your core values and mission statement, market type, and customer feedback. Startups should pay attention to customer feedback, as it can lead to the success of their product. A successful example is the designer product retailer Design Within Reach, which adjusted every catalog according to customer feedback, resulting in an increase in customers and a larger average order size. Early adopters, a startup's best friend. Startups should aim to sell their products to a small set of enthusiastic early adopters who have a pressing problem. These customers are willing to pay for an imperfect solution and provide valuable feedback. Many startups make the mistake of engineering a perfect product for the mainstream market without considering early adopters. This can lead to a lack of money to alter the product in response to customer feedback or an outdated product. Fast Office made this mistake in 1994 and had disappointing sales. To avoid this, get the product out as soon as possible and tailor it according to customer feedback. Growing a startup's customer base. Every startup's goal is to build a loyal customer base. To achieve this, they must undergo the customer creation phase. During this phase, startups must decide on their target audience, whether it's similar to the early adopters or to a broader range of customers. By studying their customers, startups can determine if they should shift their focus or pursue a specific market niche. Once a startup understands its customers and refines its product, it enters the company building phase, where sales grow. To target mainstream customers, startups must adapt their strategy. They can use early adopters as cheerleaders or utilize product positioning. Through these methods, startups can build a loyal following and grow their business. Effective communication for startups. Startups need to carefully choose the messages they send to customers as they strongly influence their perception of the company. This includes product names and advertisements. Knowing how to convey the message is also important. Early adopters, experts, and paid media should all be considered as part of the marketing strategy. Research your customers' media sources and target the most effective ones. Don't waste time and money on media sources that won't reach your potential customers.
In The 4 Steps to the Epiphany, Steve Blank masterfully unravels the essential differences between startups and established companies, allowing readers to understand why the typical product development process may not work for burgeoning ventures. Through keen observations and examples, Blanks exhibits the significance of customer development, market types, and constant adaptation for businesses on the rise. The book highlights the importance of developing authentic core values and mission statements, as well as learning from errors and feedback to navigate the complex and rapidly changing world of startups. Wrap up your reading experience with newfound knowledge and an empowered perspective to embrace the exciting challenges that startups have to offer.